And that's why Jake Paul tweeted once all of this came out, this tweet. Now it all makes sense. And this is not me trying to take a shot at Logan or anyone else. My understanding was the top choice was Jake, just because Jake has become more of a boxer as of late, as opposed to Logan.
So Conor McGregor, lay off the cocaine, get in the gym, and start winning fights, and then maybe we could have a conversation.
Conor McGregor and Jake Paul's potential fight has been making headlines recently, and it seems like it's a done deal. However, just as excitement peaks, Jake Paul, Logan's brother and owner of Most Valuable Promotions, has cast doubt on whether the clash will actually happen.
Well, rumor has it Logan Paul and Conor McGregor are talking about fighting, and it seems real because the WWE is owned by TKO, and remember the UFC and TKO group kind of teamed up. And Dana White's always had a good relationship with Logan Paul. You know, it sounded like, and the way Ariel talks about it, it sounds like it's serious.
Dana White has yet to comment on the rumored fight between McGregor and Logan Paul. Many believe that the relationship between Conor McGregor and Dana White hasn't been as strong lately. But former UFC fighter and analyst Brendan Schaub has speculated that White could be fully on board with the idea from the start. On his podcast, The Fighter and the Kid, Schaub suggested that the UFC would likely play a significant role in supporting McGregor's side, just like they did for his highly publicized 2017 fight with Floyd Mayweather.
But why it's smart for the UFC is because the UFC is going to be heavily involved on the Conor side. They have to be.
Oh yeah, just like the Mayweather fight.
Yes.
Schaub emphasized that a fight with Paul could help McGregor move past the negative attention surrounding his recent legal issues and civil court loss. He believed that the UFC would view this as an opportunity to help McGregor's image. Schaub explained that announcing a fight would help divert attention away from McGregor's troubles and potentially pave the way for his return to the UFC.
Conor's come from all those allegations, lost in the civil court.
Yes.
It's damaged.
Yes.
It's damaged goods right now.
Well, the fans walked away from it.
Nothing makes all that go away for a fighter like announcing you have a fight.
No doubt.
So UFC's going, oh yeah, go do that.
Yeah.
Have people forget about all this shit, and then you still owe us 2 more fights.
Excellent.
So go take the hit over there. Let them all go away.
It adds up.
And we'll fight you end of next year.
Sean O'Malley expressed his excitement about the idea of Conor McGregor making a comeback. He shared that he would love to see McGregor return to the UFC, knock out someone with a powerful left hand, and celebrate by jumping on the cage. O'Malley believes McGregor, now weighing around 185 to 190 pounds, could still be a competitive fighter, especially given the size he's added since his last fight.
I do too. I would love to see Conor come back and start someone in the UFC. That's what if I could pick anything, I want Conor to come back, fucking walk out, fucking hit someone with a left hand and just jump on the cage.
Yeah.
That's what I would want to see.
His co-host, Tim Welch, highlighted that while many may think Logan Paul has the advantage due to his size, McGregor has grown significantly. Welch pointed out that Conor is now a solid 185 pounds, possibly 190, while Logan Paul, who weighed in at 190 pounds during the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson event, didn't look as muscular as he does in the WWE. O'Malley agreed with Welch's point, thinking the fight would be competitive. He emphasized that McGregor's increased size could be an important factor in a potential showdown against Logan Paul.
It's like in the later rounds, Conor gassed himself out, but Conor, remember, and we always think of the old Conor too. Conor's walking around, it looks like he's a solid 185, probably 190. When we saw Logan, when we were at Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, he said he weighed 190 pounds. Yeah. 190 pounds. He wasn't near as stacked as you're used to seeing him in the WWE. He is tall. I think that's a competitive fight.
Although McGregor would be the smaller fighter, Amir Khan believes Conor could win easily if the fight happens. He explained, "That's not a bad fight for Conor because Conor is actually a big guy. When I stood against him, he's only 10 pounds heavier than me normally, not fighting weight, but he is massive. He's thick. I think he must walk into the ring around about 175. Khan also noted that if the fight happens at heavyweight, McGregor could handle it. If you look at Logan's Mayweather fight, he went into the ring and did well, so I'm sure Conor could do the same," he said. However, he made it clear that he thinks Jake Paul is the better fighter, saying, "I don't think Logan is as good as Jake. I think Jake's the better one out of them two." According to Ariel Helwani's sources, Mukesh Ambani's son, Anant Ambani, who recently had a highly publicized $600 million wedding, was reportedly keen on organizing a mega event similar to those held in Saudi Arabia. For this event, Jake Paul was said to be the first choice as Conor's opponent. However, the fight between McGregor and Jake did not come to fruition, and instead, the potential matchup with Logan Paul gained traction.
My understanding was the first choice is we want Jake Paul. We want to be in the Jake Paul business. We want a Jake Paul fight here in India. And so then the top choice was Jake Paul versus Conor McGregor. That was the pie in the sky idea. And that's why Jake Paul tweeted once all of this came out, this tweet, now it all makes sense. And this is not me trying to take a shot at Logan or anyone else. My understanding was the top choice was Jake, just because Jake has become more of a boxer as of late, as opposed to Logan.
For years, Logan Paul had been vocal about wanting to face Conor McGregor in the ring, with both him and his brother Jake Paul frequently calling for the fight.
I would like to fight Conor. I think it'd be really cool.
Do you think that you're too big for him?
I could cut to 185.
Good morning, Conor McGregor. I know you're probably beating up old dudes in a bar right now, or maybe you're jacking off because you're sick of your wife. I mean, she's before Conor. You can do a lot better, but happy Monday. You're ducking me because you don't want to lose to a fucking YouTuber. Sign the contract, you idiots. Jesus Christ.
Expect there may be one and possibly two Paul brothers ringside also, cage side.
I couldn't care about them two dingbats.
So you don't see any future where you box either of those two?
I don't see so, but never say never. I mean, if they're gonna keep competing and whatnot, who knows? But dingbats, the two of them.
McGregor is the one making the headlines, teasing the fight with regular comments, and even sending a direct message to Logan on Twitter saying, "I am coming to India." On the other hand, Logan Paul has remained remarkably quiet about the potential bout. Despite once being eager for the fight, Logan has only shared a cryptic emoji in response to McGregor's announcement and posted some training footage after news of their potential earnings leaked. Logan's silence has been striking, especially when considering his past excitement for this matchup. He didn't even bring up the fight during his Year in Review YouTube video, where he discussed his priorities for 2025. Instead, he focused on wrestling, family, and business, saying, "2025, I'm not around." He went on to reveal that his three main goals for the upcoming year are focused on wrestling, family, and business, leaving no room for a potential boxing match with McGregor. With rumors of a $500 million purse split circulating, Logan's silence stands in stark contrast to McGregor's confident statements, raising questions about whether he's truly interested in this fight or if he's simply focusing on other ventures for now. Mike Malak, Logan Paul's close friend and co-host of the Impulsive podcast, also dismissed the rumors about the fight. Reflecting on Logan's 2025 goals, Malak pointed out that Logan's current focus is firmly on family, especially after recently becoming a father. He emphasized that Logan has embraced his role as a girl dad and is fully committed to his new responsibilities.
Conor McGregor came out and said that he had agreed to fight Logan Paul. What is the latest there? What is going on?
From what I understand, there was conversations about it a while ago. I don't know if Conor just woke up in like Ibiza or something like that and decided that he wanted to talk about it today. From the last thing I heard, there was no updates there, so I don't know if he's just out of his mind and just talking about it. But Logan just had a kid. He's locked in. He's a girl dad.
Despite the uncertainty, Malak noted the potential appeal of a fight, describing it as a clash of personalities, nations, and fighting styles that would undoubtedly captivate audiences worldwide. He even went a step further by hinting at the possible outcome, comparing it to the fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson, where Tyson lost against Jake Paul.
And so, unless there's something that I haven't heard, which is very possible, I don't know what the hell Conor's talking about. But I'll say this. No matter what, I think the boxing world would love to see it. I think we're talking about two very controversial personalities. One loved and hated, two countries, two different fighting disciplines. The world watches that fight. That's another Tyson, Jake Paul. I don't care what you say, people watch that fight. So I want to see it happen, for sure.
Conor McGregor, at 36 years old, is stepping back into the spotlight after being out of action for 3.5 years. McGregor hasn't fought since breaking his leg in July 2021 during his loss to Dustin Poirier, which added to a series of defeats, including a failed lightweight title challenge against Khabib Nurmagomedov. McGregor had hoped to return to action with a proposed fight against Michael Chandler in June 2024, but that too was delayed due to a broken toe. This extended period of inactivity, along with legal troubles, including including rape allegations, has raised doubts about McGregor's ability to compete at the highest level in MMA. Additionally, his increasing focus on business ventures has further fueled these concerns. McGregor's past performances, once full of promise, now seem far behind him, and many critics believe that a loss to Logan Paul would only further highlight his decline as a fighter. Former UFC heavyweight Brendan Schaub also expressed concerns about the potential fallout from a McGregor loss to Logan Paul. Schaub argued that if McGregor were to lose in poor fashion, it would severely impact not only his career, but also his brand, which has already suffered due to legal troubles and inactivity. The fear is that a lackluster performance would leave fans frustrated, potentially ending McGregor's career in boxing and MMA on a sour note.
If he gets starched, it's gonna destroy his brand. After all these allegations, hasn't fought forever, hasn't won in a hot fucking second, then finally comes back, and let's say he looks bad, like out of shape, movements off. People are like, what the fuck? I paid for this, and he gets starched by Logan Paul, a guy who's, doing all this other stuff, and he gets starched. That would be worst case scenario if you're a UFC fan and B, a Conor McGregor fan. Then it's like, oh, dude.
Mike Tyson's former trainer, Teddy Atlas, predicted that this could mark the end of McGregor's credibility in the UFC and as a legitimate MMA fighter. Speaking on his YouTube podcast, Atlas acknowledged McGregor's superior experience in the ring, but pointed out that Logan Paul, being bigger and younger, brings a different challenge to the table. Atlas raised the question of whether McGregor's involvement in such events for huge paydays signals the end of his pursuit of a legitimate MMA career. He suggested that if McGregor shifts his focus to these extravagant boxing matches, it could be seen as a move away from serious MMA competition. While Atlas believes McGregor's legacy should not be forgotten, he warned that this shift in direction could be the final blow to the Irishman's standing as a top-tier MMA fighter.
McGregor's the more experienced, legitimate fighter here. Obviously, Paul's going to be, as I already said, much bigger. He's going to be younger. Does this officially signal that Conor is no longer looking to be a legitimate, pure MMA, fighter? Now that he's doing these event extravaganzas, if you will, for this kind of money, which you can't blame him. It's there, go get it. But does it signal really an end to his legitimacy as an MMA fighter, or wanting to be a legitimate, serious fighter? And if so, I don't think it should be forgotten how great he really was. And it might be the end.
Chael Sonnen has thrown his support behind Logan Paul in a potential boxing match against Conor McGregor. Sonnen believes Paul's significant size advantage and McGregor's struggles outside the ring could lead to a dominant win for the YouTuber-turned-boxer. Sonnen stated that Paul would likely set the bout at heavyweight, coming in around 220 pounds, forcing McGregor to adjust significantly.
But do you believe, hey, let me ask you one real fast. Do you believe there is any form of combat, including this padded down version we're discussing right now, where Conor McGregor could beat Logan Paul? And I know that Logan's got the size, but Logan's not going to relinquish the size. He's going to make Conor come up. They're probably going to do an exhibition at heavyweight where Paul's going to show up around 220. I think Logan Paul whips his ass. That's the other elephant in the closet nobody's wanting to discuss.
Sonnen highlighted factors beyond the sport, pointing to McGregor's past injuries, including a severe leg surgery, and his personal challenges, such as legal issues and alleged substance use. He remarked that such circumstances take a toll on an athlete's performance, emphasizing that nothing will age a guy faster than drugs and legal work.
And you got a leg surgery on top. You got all these years and miles. You got a leg surgery and a pile of coke and a couple of convictions. Nothing will age a guy faster than drugs and legal work, okay? Take it from me. It will slow you down a little bit.
Like many experts, ESPN analyst and commentator Stephen A. Smith also believes the fight may not bode well for Conor McGregor. He expressed doubts about McGregor's ability to handle Logan Paul in the boxing ring. He pointed out that while McGregor is a skilled striker, he is not a boxer, and his technique could prove ineffective against Paul. According to Smith, McGregor's jab isn't strong enough, and he won't be able to outbox Logan Paul with his current strategy.
I think Logan Paul's going to beat him. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that Conor's a boxer. He's a striker. So he's sitting up there. He ain't even throwing jabs.
He's looking to get that one punch. He's looking to get one punch. That left.
You ain't clipping Logan Paul like that. No, you got to do more than that.
What size gloves are they using?
We don't know yet, but it doesn't matter. Unless it's pillows like 16 or 18 ounce, it ain't gonna work.
Smith also emphasized the physical differences between the two fighters, with Paul being the larger and more experienced boxer. He explained that Paul's size and muscle could slow him down, but McGregor's speed and quickness wouldn't have the same impact in boxing as it did in MMA. He stated that McGregor might struggle to land clean shots against Paul in this format.
You know, I just think that Logan Paul is bigger.
He's a much bigger man.
He's a much bigger man. He's more experienced.
Let me take this. Let me take that back.
Are gonna make you a bit slower.
Yes.
You got to remember that Conor had quickness. He could catch you quick and clip you.
Yep.
That's not gonna be the case in the boxing ring.
Recently, a report from a social media account pretending to be former TalkSport journalist Michael Benson tricked several news outlets into publishing false information about the Conor McGregor versus Logan Paul fight. The report claimed that both fighters would earn $250 million, and the match would be held at Mumbai's Wankhede Stadium. It also suggested that the event would be part of a Visit India tourism campaign, which doesn't even appear to exist. However, not everyone was convinced by the information. Jake Paul, who owns the boxing promotion Most Valuable Promotions, commented under McGregor's post with 3 hat emojis, signaling that the whole story was fake. Jake also took to social media to make things clearer, stating, "Now it all makes sense why Conor McGregor and his management team have been desperately trying to get MVP to negotiate for a fight between us." He further stated, "The only way we're willing to explore me versus Conor in a pro-boxing MMA fight is if Dana White, UFC, are at the table directly or make it clear they are okay with discussions." He also did not hold back in his criticism of McGregor's current state, saying, "Conor is washed, needs the Pauls. Logan buy however he wants." Chael Sonnen has also raised serious doubts about Conor McGregor's claims regarding a potential boxing match against Logan Paul, which McGregor says is being backed by billionaire Mukesh Ambani. Sonnen expressed skepticism on his YouTube channel, arguing that there's no truth to McGregor's suggestion that a billionaire in India is funding the fight to promote tourism. Chael questioned the legitimacy of the entire deal, stating that McGregor's statement seemed more like an attempt at attention than a serious negotiation.
He is claiming that he's going to get $250 million to go box Logan Paul in India for a billionaire investor who wants to bring attention and tourism to India. Conor's not boxing Jake Paul. There is not a billionaire in India looking to bring people over and change tourism. That is something exclusively done by a government, and that government is done in one place, which is in the Middle East. And third, there's no check for $250 million. So he kind of went right down the list of joking. He's kidding. You're not supposed to believe any of that to be true.
While it may seem like the fight is on the horizon, there are factors that can't be ignored, such as the silence from Logan Paul and reactions from Jake Paul's promotion company. Do you think this fight will happen? And if it does, who do you think will win? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.